Good morning, everybody. I hope you are well. I'm well today. Um, this morning, I'm going to talk about my first acupuncture experience. I have no history of having acupuncture. I don't have very much knowledge about it. Matter of fact, most of what I know about acupuncture is just the things you hear. Some people say it's the greatest thing. Some people say it's bogus. Depending on their own experience or lack of it and stuff. But my therapist had strongly suggested I go to acupuncture to try to help my pain because I'm having so much pain from my knee that was replaced August 1st, not doing well, and my edema not doing well, no matter what I do to try to get relief from it. So, uh, I checked with my insurance if it was covered, and it is for certain things and to a certain amount of time. So I thought, what the heck? Nothing else is working, and I do need some relief. And one of the main things that my insurance does cover it for is insomnia, and I've had really bad insomnia for at least 4 years, probably more like 5 or 6, or maybe my whole lifetime. Because if I stop and think about it, I've taken sleeping pills off and on throughout my life, and um, had different problems with sleeping. And the problem I've had the last 4 years is I have no trouble falling asleep. I get tired, I go to sleep. I'm an old lady now. I get tired in the evening, and I especially if I eat something, I pass out for a couple hours and stuff. So the problem isn't falling asleep, it's staying asleep. And I have had a sleep study, and I do not have sleep apnea or any sleep disorder, other than the doctor felt that maybe because of my PTSD, I'm waking up to check the room and make sure everything's okay and stuff. And then if I just do that really groggily, I can fall back to sleep. But if I start to think it all, or my ADHD brain gets going, it's over. You're awake, or worrying. If I get ruminating and worrying about stuff and stress myself out. Anyway, so sleep is a big problem for me. Because you have to get enough sleep for anything to go right with your mental health or your physical health. My body cannot heal itself overnight if I'm only getting 3-4 hours of sleep. It just it just can't. And even only getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night, it's just not enough. I'm constantly fatigued, constantly exhausted. So when I saw that that was a main thing that was covered under acupuncture, I thought, oh, if they can fix that, they can fix, a lot of my problems. I can get the depression under control better. The body can heal itself. I can do more, that's a good thing. And if they can help, it also that listed that they helped back pain and edema and things like that. So I I was like, wow, that'll be great if it can help. But I didn't want to get my hopes up. So I wasn't letting myself get excited or anything like that, because not that I was really skeptical that it doesn't work, but I was just kind of like, so many things haven't worked. Let's just go into it with an open mind, but don't get too excited or hopeful about it and stuff. The trip there was, I did have some anxiety before leaving the house. I didn't feel up to it physically, and really had to push myself to just not. I just wanted to say, forget it. This ain't gonna work anyway. I don't want to leave the house. So I did have to fight my desire to not leave my home. And then when we got there, it even though there was only two other people besides my worker and I. So it wasn't because there were people there, but I just was very anxious and wanted to leave. I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I don't want to even try this, get me out of here. I really had to fight the panic feeling of, let's just get up and leave. I even said that to my worker. I says, I just want to get up and leave while I'm filling out the paperwork and things. And when I filled the paperwork out, because I had actually kind of got into it when I scheduled the appointment with the person scheduling the appointment. First thing she said when I said I had edema, she said, go to your doctor. And I started yelling at her. I literally yelled at her, I'm not going to the doctor. Started listing all these things that, doctors are this and that and Western medicine and blah, blah, blah. And so she says, oh, well, let's make an appointment. So the paperwork even said you should, well, they expected you had been referred by a doctor. Well, I wasn't referred by a doctor. I wasn't referred by anyone. My therapist said I should go to acupuncture. I checked if the insurance covered it, and I came on my own. So I was worried they were going to do the same thing they'd done on the phone. Oh, well, go to your doctor. I didn't want to hear that. But she didn't, when she asked me who referred you, I said, well, nobody but my therapist suggested I get acupuncture. And she went, okay. So she's very accepting of everything I said, including that and things. And so the experience was interesting. It was, well, when we walked in the room, she's like, get on the table. And it's a high table. I'm like, oh, good luck, Bailey. And afterward, it occurred to me, oh, I got on that table with no problem and even adjusted myself. So the 29 pounds I've lost apparently helps that I can move myself on a table. Whereas when I had my back procedure done in July, when I was the heavier weight, I could not move myself at all. So that was a good thing too, but that's irrespective of the experience with her. Anyway, so I didn't think the needles were gonna hurt. I wasn't worried about that, or that it was going to be physically unpleasant in that respect, and it wasn't. It was no big thing. Putting the needles in, when she put them in or took them out, just a little prick kind of thing. It was hardly nothing at all. Um, so that was good. I mean, it wasn't, I did experience some itching after the appointment, but nothing, certainly not as bad as my dry skin usual, itching problems that I have. So it was no big thing. So physically, it was not a difficult experience, other than the actual time spent. She put the needles in, and then she said, we're going to relax your mind, and something about relaxing and meditation or something like that. Because I remember thinking, good luck as far as getting my mind to relax. I thought, there's no way that's going to happen. So she turned the lights out, and it was quiet music. And so I'm laying there, dum 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 dum, and it was hard because to be in one spot without moving, for me, or try to let your mind relax, that wasn't that easy. I was pretty bored, and I was like, how long do I got to do this? But what made it the hardest was my surgery knee was screaming in pain the whole time, and that was difficult for me. I just wanted to yell out to her, can I be done? Can I be done? Because the pain was too much. And I was like, gee, I hope this isn't wrecking the effects or whatever it's supposed to be doing, because I'm going out of my mind with this damn knee. But I did squirm. I squirmed here and there. I wasn't sure how much you should or shouldn't move, or if it was good or bad, but it's like, I have to move. I have to move this knee. I have to flex my leg and stuff. And I'm a fidgeter. So it was very difficult to stay still that long. Maybe I'll get better at it. I hope I do. I don't know if I relax, but it wasn't, it was a nice, I mean, if the knee wouldn't have hurt, if the right knee and the lower leg would have been in so much pain, I would have been physically comfortable, and could have had a nice time laying there for a half hour to an hour, however long I laid there. I don't know. Anyway, another thing that really impressed me about her was she had very limited information from the paperwork I filled out and what I told her, but yet she zeroed in exactly on what I feel are my problems, and understood, what we're trying to fix, and agreed, that if we fix the insomnia or these things or stuff like that, and what little things I did tell her about my problems or myself or different diagnosis that I have, she accepted what I said. She didn't question what I say or look at me like I was a nut or, grew an extra head or something, like regular doctors do. They look at you like, yeah, you're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. She accepted what I said and says, yes, you've got it figured out. We're going to, take care of these things and it'll all be good. That's not her exact words. I don't remember her exact words, but I felt really good afterwards. I was like, oh, right. This can, at least she knows what she's doing and stuff like that, and didn't come away with any negative feelings whatsoever or any feeling like, oh, I don't want to come back here. It was really rather nice, very nice experience, and she was a nice lady and stuff like that. I do feel like my back was improved after I left there. I had no back pain until later in the night, and less back pain sleeping. I did sleep better. I didn't, miraculously get 7, 8 hours of sleep, but I was awake every hour except one, but I was able to fall asleep every hour that I woke up. So I did still wake up every hour, uh, except for 2 o'clock. I didn't wake up between 1 and 3, but I was awake every hour in between. But accumulatively, I think I got a good 5 hours, maybe even 6, possibly more. It's hard to say. But anyhow, um, so I'm hopeful that it will help. If it can help the insomnia or some of the pain, then that'll be a major plus because nothing else has helped and stuff like that. But it was a very pleasant experience. I liked her a lot, and so I'm looking, except for the part about having to leave the house to do it, I'm looking forward to the next appointment to see what happens. So that was my first acupuncture experience that turned out better than I expected. I don't know what I expected exactly. Like I said, I was trying not to be too hopeful and I wasn't necessarily excited, but I was like, oh, well, let's see what happens. And now we did, and it was positive. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the next appointment, and I hope it does find me some relief to this pain and the insomnia. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again.